Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Virginia Gamba. I am the Special Representative of the United Nations Secretary General for Children and Armed Conflict. I regret not being able to join this important conference on children and armed conflict in Addis Ababa, but my office is represented and will support the outcome of this conference. As you know, the Children and Armed Conflict mandate has deep roots in Africa, as it was created following the study of Graça Machel on the impact of conflict on children in 1996. Olara Otunnu of Uganda was the very first special representative on children and armed conflict. Another African special representative was Leila Serougi of Algeria. This showcases the contribution of Africa to the protection of children. One of Graça Machel's main conclusions was that the most vulnerable in times of war are children. Despite significant progress, more than 20 years after her study, the reality of boys and girls living in the midst of armed conflict remains sadly tragic. As we speak, millions of children find themselves trapped in conflict zones, used and abused in, by, and for an armed conflict that they did not create. They are disproportionately affected by war. Some are forced to become child soldiers. Some are killed or maimed, others are abducted or sexually abused. Whether involved in active combat or used as cooks, spies, or sexual slaves, these boys and girls are the primary victims of violence. My office is mandated to end and prevent these violations in 20-country situations spread across many regions of the globe, including in Africa. In the past decades, our joint efforts have led to significant progress for conflict-affected children. 31 action plans with parties to conflict have been signed. More than 130,000 children have been separated from armed forces and armed groups, and 170 countries have now signed the optional protocol to the Convention on the Rights of the Child on the involvement of children in armed conflict. I recently witnessed in New York as the Gambia joined this protocol. I have sought to continuously collaborate with and accompany African states, institutions, and civil society to promote the rights of African children, prevent violations of those rights, and provide African children with peaceful and hopeful futures. This progress is the result of the cooperative work of my office and several partners, including the African Union and African states, with whom the collaboration is now well established. Throughout the years, our collaboration has contributed to improve the protection of children, including with the establishment of a Child Protection Advisor to the African Union since 2014, training for peace operations, as well as peace-building and mediation efforts in countries like Sudan, South Sudan, or the Central African Republic. I have focused my efforts as SRSG on children and armed conflict in complying with Resolution 72245 of the General Assembly in 2017, which asked me to increase my engagement with regional and sub-regional organizations, increase public awareness, assess best practices, and through Security Council Resolution 2427 of 2018, bolster the prevention of violations against children in armed conflict. I firmly believe that the only way to better protect children is through a protection and prevention strategy and through strong cooperation with regional organizations that work towards the same end. More broadly, the United Nations and the African Union have also strengthened their collaboration in recent years with several initiatives, including the recent Silencing the Guns. We're also jointly embarked on a cooperation for peace, security, and development with the Sustainable Development Goals and Agenda 2063, the Africa we want. Today is an opportunity to renew our commitment to prevent and end grave violations against children, and to reinforce our collaboration to better protect children across the continent. Several opportunities are ahead, such as the upcoming practical guidance on the integration of child protection into peace processes, or the advocacy campaign Act to Protect, already launched in Mali, the Central African Republic, and Somalia. It is my hope that this conference will pave the way to increase child protection measures for our most precious resource, our children. They deserve our support, and they should be able to receive it. Thank you.